Hey YouTube, what's up? This is SpeedPlayArray again, and this is my first 10 on 10 deck that I'm doing for my channel. So as you can see, I've got 10 creatures, and this is my Danian Super Infection deck. So yeah, this deck is based off Infection, and yeah. So let's see our creatures. So on the front line, we've got nimmei, or nimmei, however you want to say it. He's got 55 energy, 80 courage, so this deck runs Earth and Courage, and he's got Plasma Pounder. So Plasma Pounder's ability is, when a creature deals Earth damage, you may look at the top two cards of your location deck and put one on top and one on the bottom, so that's good for arranging your locations. That's a super rare battle gear. Next we have Draz with 60 energy and 90 courage, and then while infected he gains Earth 5, and his Hives outperform Courage 5, which is really good in this deck since it runs Earth and Courage. He's got a Drill Dozer, as you can see. Next we have Aureban. He's got Waterproof 10, 60 energy and 85 courage, and his Hive is Aureban gains 10 energy for each infected creature your opponent controls, which is pretty much what inspired this deck, so he's going to gain massive energy when you activate his Hive, and he's got a Danian carapace. So it's not really for the infection. Well, it kind of is, because there are ways that we uninfect creatures in this deck and then use it for damage. So yeah, you can infect creatures again, but also if he gets destroyed with this, then it destroys your opponent's battle gear and then gives the Danian carapace to them, so then you could get it back again if you beat them. So that just is always going to be around. And then hammerdoom Chant Caller, 55 energy, 75 courage. He's got Fireproof 10, and he deals an additional 5 damage to underworlders with attacks. He's got a Drill Dozer as well, so he'll have 75 energy. Alright, let's see our second row. So, Macrobron is in this deck for his ability. It says when Macrobron gains a mage counter, infect target uninfected creatures, so he's got Lopeti and Baldur's Flute. So when you sacrifice that, he can infect a creature. And then also, if you sacrifice one of his mage counters, he can activate or deactivate Hive. Next is Morant. He's also one of your muges, so when an infected creature is put into a discard pile, he gains a muge counter. So that's good, since probably you and your opponent's creature will be infected, so he's going to gain a bunch of muge counters. You can sacrifice one of his muge counters to activate Hive, and he's got a Baldur's Flute as well. Next we have Yondath. He's in here for his ability. When an opposing uninfected creature is targeted by a mujic you control, infect that creature. He's got a Biomotorcycler. You're going to sacrifice this and give one of your fighters ranges with one. So he's only in there for that ability, and then you can cast one mujic off of him, and that's pretty much it. Next we got Topar with the Hectad's Crown. So he's in here to cast some petty mujic that I have, and I'll show you in a sec. He's got 2 mujic counters, then his abilities are, at the beginning of turn, infect target unaffected creature. That's just constant infection for free. You're always going to have that, so that's good. When an infected creature you control is targeted by a mujic or ability, you uninfect them, and then it negates the mujic or ability, so that's really good, because you only got 2 to 9 mujic in this deck. I've got a second Aureban with 50 energy, 75 courage. He's got a bronze fight to defend Macrobon, Morant, Topar, and Llama Hive Ordnance. He's in here because for his second ability, which says infected creatures do not reveal battle gear at the beginning of the game. So when you infect your opponent's creatures, and then you infect them before you start the match, and then in your first battle, their battle gear won't come face up, which is really good. He's got a Biomotorcycler. You can sacrifice that as well. His other ability is when a Mandibulor comes to play from discard pile, Llama gains a mujic counter, so I have no ways to bring back my Mandibulors in this deck, but that's not really important. Let's see our mujic next. So, got 2 armament out of Geo. Now, this is the petty mujic that Topar is going to cast, so. Alright, Topar casts this, so. As soon as the match starts, you cast these 2 with Topar. You're probably going to want to target the front line, or at least 2 creatures on the front line with one mujic, and then somebody else with the other. So, this works with Yondath, because, his ability when opposing uninfected creatures targeted by mujic, blah blah blah, you infect them. So as soon as you target the 2 creatures per each mujic, they're gonna get infected as soon as the thing resolves, because even if your opponent negates this, your opponent's creatures have still been targeted, so they're still going to get infected, and then if they let it go through, then you stop the battle gear, which is really good. So, that's really good. That's really good that that's in there. I learned this. I picked up this idea from Reihaku in his Fland or Control video, so you guys can just search Reihaku and see that. Yeah. So Armament Anagio works really well with Yondaf and Infecting decks. Alright, got some more musics. So, Refrain of Denial, Danian. I guess Yondaf can cast that. Gear Glissando. Now, Topar uses up his 2 magic counters to cast this, but I've got a Golden Heptagon in here, so this is just in case you need to flip a battle gear face up or face down. So Morant or Macron will cast that, so let's just say Morant cast that. Purge Dirt, ultra rare, deal 5 damage to our creature for each mana you control, and uninfect all creatures. So yeah, this is why creatures are going to get uninfected, so that's a big damage dealing magic, so Macron's going to cast that. Infectious Melody, infect up to 2 target unaffected creatures. Morant's going to cast that. Cadence Clash. Nimmei's going to cast that because he has a magic counter. Rhythms of Rage, this is epic in this deck because it says target Mandalore gains Outperform Courage 5. If they're infected, they gain Earth 5, and if Hive is active, they gain 15 energy. So that's just epic. That's all the stuff you need, so Macromon will cast that. Melody of Parasitic Mayhem. So you can infect target uninfected great creature, or the other ability of magic is when Hive is active, uninfect all creatures controlled by an opponent, and deal 5 damage to target engaged creature for each creature uninfected this way. So this is kind of like Purge Dirge. I guess Marant will cast that, and then Strain of Infection is to be cast by Macrobon, so this works really well with him because uninfect up to 3 infected creatures, target Danian creature gains a magic counter for each creature uninfected this way. So when you cast this by alright, let me move all these magics, sorry. So when you cast the Strain of Infection with Macrobon, and you uninfect the creatures, he gains the 3 magic counters. And then, because of his ability, he'll be able to affect them all over again. So basically, the end result is he just gains 3 magic counters, which is really good. I also learned this online from a blog, Chaotic Down Under. You guys can look further to that too. Yeah, that's where I learned this combo. I hadn't really thought about it before. I hadn't really given the Danians much thought, but then, I just kind of had an epiphany. I was like, Danians are good. Alright. So that's that. Let's look at our locations next. So, this is the Danian deck, so got 2 mount pillars, activate your Hive. Everyone on the front line has Hive. Stillchild's Mine, Initiative Courage, and then all your creatures have Earth, so they're going to be protected from super damage, because they can only be dealt a max of 20 damage while they still have Earth, but this goes for your opponent too. So, yeah. Gloomlike Swamp, boost fire attacks, boost Earth attacks, drops fire attacks, Initiative Courage. And then, wouldn't be an infection deck without 2 Infectoriums. So that's just Initiative Courage, and then you deal 15 damage at the beginning of combat. 2 infected, not engaged, non-Danian creatures. 2 Hive Galleries, Initiative, Earth, and Outperform Courage 5, so this is an Earth and Courage deck. And then power attacks are dropped by 5. Mount Pillars are liberated, Initiative Danian, and then when it is revealed, each player infects an unaffected creature he or she controls, so that's good. And then Golden Heptagon is for the Gear Glissando. Alright, let's see our attacks now. So we got this attack deck is kind of basic, but the 0 attacks are a bit. I haven't really used a lot of them before. So, Screeching Scare can deal 5 damage or drop your opponent's courage by 10. Earth Shape in case you need your Earth back for Newman's or whatever. Aftermath Feint. Now I normally don't run this, but I just wanted to do some different 0s for this deck, and then this is good. If you lose the battle, then you get Cycle. You can draw 2 attack cards and discard 2 attack cards if you play this and then you lose that battle. 2 Spirit Gust, Courage, 2 Shadow Strike, obviously. Infectious Implosion, it's an Earth attack, and then if you're opposing any creatures infected, deal 10 damage. They probably will be, so this is going to deal at least 15 damage. 2 Dogmatic Bravery, Courage, and drops your opponent's Courage. Mineral Mayhem is an Earth attack, and then you can just boost your Courage for Lord Von Blute's Servant of Vani decks or a Gantrak army, so that's good. Gear Grind, now I was kind of wary about putting this in, since it's all face-up sorry about the flash thing. Since it's all face-up battle gear goes face down, but it's kind of necessary in this deck, so you really have to be careful when you play this, because it can either help you or hurt you, so yeah, you really gotta watch out when you play that. Now, 2 Work Pulse, 1 Charge of the Brave, Knight's Nasty, Earth and Courage, Skeletal Strike, And the big attacks in this deck are 2 techno strikes. These can do. I remember I did a match with these. I did a match with this deck once, and then I think I cast the Rhythms of Rage on Draz, and he was infected, and he had his Hive active, and I dealt 50 damage with one of these. And that was just a one-hit KO, so that was pretty sweet. Alright, so let me explain how you're gonna play from the start of the match, or whatever. Alright, so match starts. Right away, you sacrifice both these guys' Ball Eater Salute. Aureban gains counter, you infect somebody. And then if it's your turn, then you infect somebody with Topar. And then right away, you cast your 2 armament added Geos here. And then that's another 4 creatures infected, so that's 1, 5. So yeah, you can potentially infect 6 creatures right from the start of the match. And then you cast a String of Infection, uninfect 3 of them, and then you can reinfect the same 3 or change around the order. But anyways, Macron gains more counters. So yeah, that's that. And then the rest of them, you kind of just save, so Melody, hang on a sec. Alright, Melody of Parasitic Mayhem and Purge Dirge you want to play when you need some damage. And then you're probably going to want to play it on your opponent's turn, so that when your turn comes up, then you just infect somebody again with Topar. And then you've got Aureban for the Danian Carapace, so then he can infect guys again. Infectious Melody, just infect a couple more creatures. That's good. Glissando, flip up or flip down Battle Gear. Cadence Clash and Refrain of Denial. And since you got Topar's ability with the infected creature and negate, so you might not have to play these, but when you do, you just play them because you're going to have amplitude counters. And then Rhythms of Rage just pumps up your creatures. So, Nimmei and your Aurebans are going to gain massive energy from their Hive ability. Nimmei's stats and energy are going to be pumped up by 5 for each mana blower, and so since it's infecting, each infected creature counts as a mana blower, so you're going to gain that. And then, yeah, he's just going to gain the 10 energy, and then he's got the Waterproof 10, and Hammerdoom's Hive is Fireproof 10, so this deck is really good. I guess the only enemies would be Acid Wash, and Mount Pillar. No, Overworld Embassy at Mount Pillar, because that uninfects all creatures. But other than that, this deck pretty much rocks. It's super strong. Alright, see you player out. Peace.